has in that matchup. He's like, I'm just gonna one base all in you.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's go back to 2010. Let's do it. I'm gonna kill you right now. And it just doesn't work, man.
No, it
doesn't work.
Well, here's ex-SKT BrAvO. I like to call him ex-SKT because he was good. He had a lot of potential, but didn't do much for the team. They didn't like to pull him out. They had a lot better players. And then when they picked up Innovation, BrAvO probably just said to himself, like, you guys are getting Innovation. You don't need me anymore at all. I will never see the light of day. Dream's also looking good. I'm going to join a team and help them out. He's found a new place on his team. I really like his chances here against this guy. I mean, DeParture's played 2 times. He took 1 win. But he's 1-8 in his overall record. Really think about his games we saw from him last season, where he was on Prime, if I'm not mistaken.
Him and Terror were like 0-7 and 0-6 respectively or something. It was just the dastardly duo of bad Zergs, to be honest. But he did get his first win, as did Terror, in this season. And that speaks a lot to what you were saying before. You know, both of these players definitely do struggle a lot with nerves. And as long as they can get those under control and just eventually like use that enormous potential and skill that obviously their coaches see, maybe one day we'll see very strong Zergs in both of those players.
Got some fans down here coming to the studio. Thank you so much for coming. Love seeing fans from all over the world come down to watch this amazing game. Like I said, tell people about this thing called StarCraft that you love. Spread the word about Pro League.
Definitely do that, guys. We're about to jump into game number 2 here between BrAvO and DeParture. It's going to be on merry-go-round. Let's do it. Down here in the south, in the blue, the Terran player for Samsung Galaxy Con, he is BrAvO.
And his opponent up here in the top left in teal. DeParture, Born Fnatic, Prime. He's honestly kind of just hovered around weaker teams in team leagues. But I have to give it to him just for what we were talking about before, for sticking it around for so long in his career. Stork, Fireballs, it's crazy. Looks like a Samsung fan, if I had to guess.
I think I saw Slayers down there in the bottom right. I'm not sure what that's about.
Not
Maybe
sure
just
either.
misreading that English. But yeah, some Stork fans. Stork moving from player to player coach. He did come out once towards the end of the last round, but I feel like that was kind of just fan service. I think he lost that game as well. And hopefully we'll see him play more in the future. I think something that Moonlight actually said once, I'm not sure if it was Moonlight, but it was a very good point. It's like player coaches are actually the best kind of coaches because they actually do understand the game to a much deeper level than just a regular coach would, because they're playing in the current meta. They know what the players are thinking about the current, you know, Starcraft 2 and what the other guys are doing and stuff. So
I think
Stork is definitely a huge boon to that team.
Absolutely. I think it's really important to have somebody like that on your team. But I also feel like it's important to have a head coach. I feel like it's almost like the rule of 2 from like the Sith Lords in StarCraft. It's like there always has to be a master and an apprentice. Like there always has to be a head coach and a player coach, because a playing coach, if he's going to be playing and actually staying on top of the meta, he can't also be taking care of the team and taking care of those responsibilities as well, because then you know, you're in a bit of a nasty, awkward situation where if you have to take care of all the team's responsibility and be responsible for the team, then you can't play well enough. Then are you really a player coach, because you're not really playing that much and you're not on top of the meta like you're supposed to be, like you want to be. You know, Samsung has had some great coaches in the past. Most famous coach they ever had was a coach named January, a female coach, who was you know, pretty competitive StarCraft 1 player, never like top tier, but you knew about the game a little bit, but she was a great coach, did a lot for them. Definitely look her up if you don't know the history behind January. Really famous coach, and just stepped down right at basically at the beginning of Samsung coming into StarCraft 2. And then we had Songtek, who also was a great coach for them. And he's also stepped down, unfortunately. So they lost 2 great coaches. They've got Stork.
Yeah, they've got another great coach on the way, and good coaching staff at that. They've been not having the best success here, unfortunately. But let's see if they can turn that around here towards the later rounds. What do we got going on in this game here? We did see an expansion out of DeParture, and then he put down the pool into gas, so it's not like an immediate speed, just like slightly delayed, like very, very slightly. Whereas back at the base of BrAvO, it just looks like he got an expand off of just 1 Rax. And that's about it. He's got that bunker up here, and he's making those Marines.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much like a standard opening for both these players, which is why I was able to talk so much history with you guys there in the beginning. Nothing crazy here. The Overlord's going to come in and scout. Now, I personally think that on this map, you know, you take that gas at the top, you're just so smart, because if your opponent spawns at the top right, his Overlord's not going to be able to scout that easily anyways. And then when the Overlord comes in from the top left spawn, he's going to see that gas, but he can't see the second one. He just can't see it. His first one, he's like, well, of course he has a first one, but I don't know if he has a second one or not. Much different than what we saw earlier, where like when the Overlord came in, he saw the gas, clicked on it, he was like, well, that's a weird timing, you know, and you're able to kind of figure out that it's 2 gas from there. Can't remember which players are playing exactly off the top of my head right now, but it's that sort of concept. So it is going to be a 2 barracks follow-up after this, though. We could see like Marauder Hellion. There's a lot of different builds that can come out of this, actually.
He's adding 2 gas as well.
So probably not Marauder Hellion. Let's see what he's got planned here. He's really aggressive follow-up, though. No Starport and no CC. This is like
This is cool.
The ugly cousin, like, out of the possible builds that you could come up after you get your second CC.
Cousin.
It's like, you know, usually you either go CC, third CC, or you go into Banshee play and you harass heavily, or you do like some mixture of the two. When you do like Marauders into Marauder Hellion, which I think we actually still could potentially see with those 2 gases, it's like the evil version of how to transition after you've expanded.
The ugly version, the ugly cousin. We do have a Roach Warren on the way here from DeParture. Not the best unit against Marauders, of course.
A Tech Lab and a Reactor.
Yeah, and look at where he's placed these barracks. You know, he's hiding these on purpose. He's like, I don't want that Overlord to see it. He's got Marines in position. There's a reason he did this build, not the Reaper one. You know, he's going for a very strict build order here in terms of denying scouting.
This is like what Marine King did when he beat Roro, pretty sure. Like, Marine King was doing this for a while when he was playing TVZ and winning last season, towards like when he started actually winning games. He was like, you know what, I'm a smart player. Marine King, one of the smartest players in the world. He defined the TVZ meta in Wings of Liberty. Is just like, you know what, people are trying to do different things, and they've got it all wrong. I'm just going to go bio and kill them, because at the time everyone was making Roaches to defend Hellbats. We're going to see Roaches here, and he's making Marauders to help deal with them, but he's also just going straight bio with like rushed combat shields and stim, and he's going to have Hellbats to come with this as well.
This is going to be like a nearly deadly attack. So many Hellions already out. He's going to make those into Hellbats, as you did mention. He's even going to have Medivacs in this, just delayed slightly. He's got to have both stim and combat shields. He's going to have a huge amount of units as well. Whereas back at the base of DeParture, he's going pretty much full eco. Okay, he may get this scout down here, and he's going to be like, oh, what? Okay. Let's see how BrAvO, or rather how DeParture responds to this.
Well, it's so funny because he's already kind of stuck, like, in the path that he's in. He's making Roaches. He was planning on doing a Roach timing with 1-1 and Roach speed, so he's already gone so far down that path, it's hard for him to turn around.
Yeah, I think you may be right. And look at this gigantic supply block. He makes 5 Overlords.
He doesn't have a Baneling Nest, so he can't even make that if he wants to. Like, he can't even make Banelings, which would not do well against this comp with good splitting, but I don't know if he has enough for the Hellbats. Hellbats do a ton of AoE damage, even to Roaches.
He's got stim. He stims up here on creep. He's just going for it, man. He's got a huge amount of units. Those Marauders are doing so much damage to the Roaches already.
Well, this is kind of a wonky game here, but I have to give the edge to BrAvO right now. Transfuses are going down to try to keep these Roaches alive, but they're split off from the main group, which means they're just going to go down piece by piece here.
Oh, man. Speed not done even for the Roaches, so you can't even, like, attempt to kite at this moment in time. So more Roaches are coming out of the left side here. They're helping in that defense, but, of course, more reinforcements coming across. The Roaches not so good against all of those Medivacs as well.
When you have Marauders and this many Medivacs, Roaches just can't do damage fast enough to do burst damage, but it's not quick enough. The Medivacs out-heal the damage.
This hit before Roach speed and +1. I want to point that out as well. So this is a very, very nice timing out of BrAvO.
Yeah. I mean, it's just these two builders collided, and guess what? BrAvo's is better for the situation.
Yeah.
BrAvO's would have been good against standard Zerg play too, but it almost directly counters the build that we saw out of DeParture here. So, well, gee, guys, today's second match has been kind of weird.
Yeah, pretty interesting here. Just thinking about the build, GG, BrAvO's going to take down DeParture. I mean, he's got a lot of Hellbats as well in the front. Like, let's say he's going standard Zerg, like maybe even goes like double Evo. He's getting that 1-1 for melee and stuff. Those Hellbats would have been so strong against all the Zerglings, and he's got like a very decent size. Oh, cool celebration there out of BrAvO. He's got like a very decent size like Marine Marauder ball in the back as well that can deal like very nicely and support those Hellbats in the back as well. So I really like the build. It's a very nicely timed build that hits before any upgrades out of that Zerg come out. And DeParture was definitely just not really expecting it. He saw it too late. Like you were saying, he was kind of already stuck in that build. He's like, oh, I guess I have to try to defend this with only roaches and slowlings. Like, yeah. I don't know. So, quick win there from BrAvO, and already Samson gets up 2-0.
Yeah, this is the expected results so far that we saw from these two. Choya with a big smile on his face.
Yeah, and you know what? I voted for Losira to go up against Solar here, but Solar can definitely take this. It's a ZVZ. We're going to be on Bonnie Research Station, one of our newer maps. We haven't actually seen a ZVZ on this map just yet.
Yeah, we have not. We don't see very many ZVZs in general in Pro League. But when we do, they're usually really good. Like the last match we saw Shine versus a player who's usually...
Rogue?
Rogue, that's right. A player who's much more well-versed in the matchup, but Shine played well. But in the end, like Rogue just had more experience. He knew what to do
just
in a scrappy situation. Fun ZVZs we've seen so far. This really could go either way. I also give the edge to Losira, and MVP has to give the edge to Losira, man. They have to be hoping because they have to not only win this off of the backs of him, but also off the back of the great Protoss versus Protoss of Younghwa. And then this match may be decided by an ace match. I mean, we predicted this from the start that there was a high chance this would happen. Let's see if fate falls into place the same way, or if Solar might just win a ZVZ, man. It's a knife fight matchup.
Yeah, man. I was really on the fence for this prediction. I was